Viewers around the world, you're welcome. You are welcome to Between the Lines. Between the Lines, SSM Monday Updates. My name is Mark Godwin Iweajua, and Between the Lines is done with my coordinators, colleagues from different parts of the world. In Toronto, Canada is George Chuku. George, you're welcome to Between the Lines. We need to get you more, George. Anyway, George, we want to hear your voice. We want to know how you are there. The first day of April 2024. Your voice needs to come out, George. I hope you can hear me too. Can you hear me? George? Okay, George, I think you
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Straight up, George. Now we can get you. Now we're with you.
Loud and clear. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
You had to spend your Easter Sunday, special day of the month of the year.
It was actually fantastic. It's one of the best days of my life when we celebrate and commemorate the death, burial, and the resurrection of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And you know, that's the reason why we are here, and that's the reason why we exist, and that's the reason why we're happy.
That's the reason why we're happy. We're here. We exist. Everything together. Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good to see you, George. So,
yes.
Happy Easter. Today is the Monday. Yes, the Monday, and this is that time when we now step into the zone of our blessings. Is that not so?
That's right.
Yes, because we've been liberated, we've been freed, we've been removed from all shackles and bondages. And it's
that's right.
So let's not turn Between the Lines to a church now, because our man Raji is also with us. Raji Olayinka, you're welcome to Between the Lines.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, my lighting is very bad this evening. We still don't have light. We don't have power. Now I'm trying to.
It's okay. You're bright.
Sorry about the lighting. Yes.
No problem. It's okay. We can see your face. We can hear your voice. That's what matters. Okay.
I still look handsome.
All good. You always. I like that. I like that. Good. Gentlemen,
that's our man.
It's April 1st, good time of the year, like George said, but it's not too good in our country. We're putting our satellite in Nigeria. Raji, it's good you're there.
Yes.
It's not good. The season is a time when some people like to travel, people like to be with their loved ones they've missed. And we're hearing of not too good news of people traveling and being kidnapped, being adopted, being killed, and all this. Raji, there's a video that's making round. Let's see that video, then we'll come to the discussion.
Motum jalista, motifes na chamber nights, and Dolijida in Jabu, de my tate. Chichayin and I will Chichichan, Momoto, Brian by any moto, Loco di Moto, Tiemoto, but thank God, on Moronyobona, Morono, on Moronyobona, lost Rousseau. Only thing we lost all that we are traveling with and lost our belongings. But I thank God today that nobody also injury can on most thing. But in doing dry go to save. Doing dry. So no do I be a dry. We thank God don't motivate Sanja list at here. Tatabu Friday night I am Barono. Friday night. Yes. Chichai tati pichara ya kwa self mo dia de nene kaende we for on the kaya chana moto.
Okay, gentlemen, let's talk about this. Like you just heard, he's speaking in Igbo language. Georgia, I know you understand what they say. It's a story that is really disheartening. Hoodlums robbed an east-bound passenger bus heading to the east for Easter, and that what we saw there happened in between Ogun State Junction, Ijebu Ode, Benin Express Road, Benin Express Road. So passengers were said to be on their way to southeast zone of Nigeria for Easter when the hoodlums attacked them, robbed them, and set the bus ablaze. Now, that's the part that is crazy, gentlemen. They locked them in after robbing them, hitting them. They locked them in there, locked the bus, and set it ablaze to kill about 100 and something people. But somehow they all smashed windows, jumped through ceilings, and ran out. And you see the line of people, many passengers on the road there. Interestingly, again, but cars are passing by and nobody's stopping to help any one of them because they will say they don't know who they are. Raji, let's start with you. Did you follow that? Have you been following that? So it happened yesterday, yesterday Sunday. Are you? Do you
honestly, I'm seeing it for the first time, and I'm really, really saddened by the dimensions that this thing is now going. It's now leaving abduction, robbing to actual murder, killing. That is not right. That is not right. And I think we shouldn't take this thing lying low. I think security has to be manned. Every town, every city, every state must now take security very, very seriously. There was a time when I would not travel anytime except at night, because at night, the time that I would have used to sleep, I'll sleep in the bus, and I'll make better use of my time so that my travel time is actually my sleeping time, and I'll get back to my destination very, very early in the morning, fresh and early. But now you can't even travel in the evening. You can't travel at any time. And apart from abduction, apart from robbing the people, there's now the dimension of locking them all inside the vehicle. Why? It is inhuman. It is inhuman. And at this season, where we are supposed to be actually in the very sober mood, there's Lent, there's Ramadan, and then I'm sure the Shise people are also doing their Oro. At which time there should be peace and peace and harmony among all peoples. It is very, very sad, and that dimension is actually inhuman.
Sad is even a little way to express that. George,
yes,
you are. I know those days, period like this, you also want to come home, and now we're seeing this kind of gruesome behavior. These people, they did not just rob, but they put gasoline to set them all, burn them all, kill them all. And these are supposed to be our brothers and sisters, our fellow neighbors, and treating like
Human
this. That means nobody is safe in Nigeria. That's what it means, George. George, give us, what do you have on this?
it is very, very sad, like Raji said. It is so, the love of many has waxed cold. People are no longer even, they have no compassion, it's just like life is nothing to them. All the people are selfish, self-centered, and it is really sad to experience and see what is really happening in our country. I mean, are we becoming animals, that there is no more human feelings among us? It is so sad. I condemn it to the highest point. And such people, when they are captured, they need to face firing squad. I think Nigeria needs to, in order to curb this nonsense that is going, we should not be playing with terrorists. We should not be playing with with people that don't have any human feelings of any kind. If they are animals, they need to be brought out in the open and condemned and shot to death, so that the fear will come upon everybody else. This is very, very sad. Look at how many people that were traveling. If they weren't able to break the windows and jump out, they would have been barbecued inside that bus. That is so sad. So sad.
There would have been barbecued inside the bus. And somebody is joining us now. Wonderful lady is joining us that is probably having barbecue at the back of her house too.
And what's that name? And for what purpose?
Fiona Akano, how are you? You're welcome to Between
For
the
what
Lines.
purpose would they have to set them on fire? For
Yes,
what purpose?
we'll come to that. Let's bring in Fiona. Fiona, can you hear us? Can you hear
Yes.
me?
Compliments of the festive season, of the Easter season to everybody. Good evening.
Happy Easter to you.
Thank
Yes.
you.
It looks as if there was barbecue there too. And
That
we're
wasn't
talking-
true. I'm just sitting here because obviously the clocks have gone forward, and it's like, let's
Yes.
enjoy a bit of the sunshine at the back.
Nice.
There you
nice.
go. There you go. Awesome.
Is it the
Awesome.
network?
Fiona, George was talking before you came in, and he said, imagine human being barbecued in the bus. Now the story is a bus called a transport service in Nigeria, Lagos, called Ife Sunachi Transport Limited. Said on Saturday the bus left its
Friday.
Friday. The bus left its station heading to southeast Nigeria geographical zone, and somewhere in Ijebu-Ode, somewhere along Ijebu-Ode and the Benin Express Road, they were cornered, and the whole passengers were robbed, beaten, and closed. They jammed the door in behind them so they can set them ablaze. And George used the word barbecue them. Can you imagine that? Human beings. Fiona, are you following that story? What do you have on that? That's gruesome.
I did hear about that, and I did a bit of reading about it. I think it goes back to something that I said sometime last week, that this is the problem when our lives don't really mean anything, and because our leaders appear to not value our lives, other people don't. So life really has no value. I cannot imagine why, having robbed everybody in the bus of all their belongings, their electronics, their phones, etc., I don't understand the sort of mindset and wickedness that goes with now putting them in the bus and setting fire. It is absolutely, there are no words that I have that can actually describe it that are good enough, or bad enough, shall I say. It's really awful. It's wicked. It's wickedness in the extreme, because there's absolute, and there were children amongst. So of course, again, I always talk about trauma. So these are people that are going to suffer this, for the rest of their lives, really. I've had experiences on the road in Nigeria, and I've shared one before with Massive Mac. And to be quite honest, I can't imagine the sort of trauma, the people that have been through this. But we're grateful that somehow nobody was killed. I know that some of them have broken limbs, etc., but to escape, all of them to escape with their life, it can only really be the grace of God that made that happen. So grateful for the fact that nobody was, but I mean, these people need to be fished out and really face the full extent of the law. But the normal thing in Nigeria.
Normal thing in Nigeria. Gentlemen, lady, let's talk about insecurity in Nigeria, Raji.
Yes.
What we just saw, what we're talking about is serious, and this might not just be one out of. I mean, you probably have more of such, because as at now, the perpetrators of this act have not been caught. So that means they could go somewhere else and still do this on other passengers. Now let's talk about security. George has been emphasizing on state security, which sounds real good. But state security needs finance, George. It needs money. It's capital intensive. And we know these governors, when they get allocation for security, they don't use it. You might probably begin to have state security men being without salary for 3, 4, 5 months, and government will say, they've given the state governors the money, but the men have not had their salary. So how best can we really tackle security? Gentlemen, let's talk this, hard talk. Let's talk about this, because it's a serious thing. I mean, those passengers could be me and you, could be anybody, So let me start with George.
Yes.
Okay, George.
You see, one of the major things that we need to really take seriously is we have been playing, games when it comes to terrorist attack and all these hoodlums that are doing this. It is only when it comes to certain aspects of, like when it goes to the south, when you begin to see, people, they get serious on what happened in Delta State or whatever the case might be. But look at what is happening in the north. They are ravaging that place, destroying children's lives, just bastardizing, little kids, taking them through trauma. And then after they are arrested, there is no arrest. There is, when negotiations come, they will pay the money and then start saying, no, what we're interested in is the life of the children. Yes, we are interested in the life of the children. What happened to these terrorist people? And these people that are negotiating with them, how do we know that they're not a part and parcel of the whole entire thing? We should stop playing games with people's lives. I am serious. When all of a sudden you get terrorists, you lock them up, and then all of a sudden you want to release them and put them in the military. And we call this, we are fighting terrorism. That is so stupid. Nigeria needs to wake. We need to wake up and face these things squarely. And Tinubu should not be afraid of these northerners. Anyone that is arrested, let the federal government take them and deal with them seriously. This is not no longer, you all of a sudden, when they get locked up, you don't hear nothing about them. The next thing you're going to talk about is, are you sure that what the 200 terrorists that were released was not part of the negotiation to release these children, 137 children? Nobody's talking about the amount of money that they were paid, because they just lying through their mouths that no ransom was paid. It is a lie. We are not fools. They need to get serious about this and face this thing squarely if we're going to move forward as one nation in that country.
Thank you, George. Thank you very, very much, George.
Yes, go ahead, Raji. Go ahead.
It is unthinkable that as far back as 2015, 2016, when this banditry and things started, we heard people like Rufai, Gumi, saying that they are paying bandits to stop killing Nigerians. As far back as 2015. And regularly have we seen bandits meeting with governors in the north, especially Katsina, where the bandits are armed. Meanwhile, the governor is there with one or two of his own security people. And there's a certain level of cordiality that I cannot imagine. Now it has happened since 2015, 2016, 2017, up to now. Up to now, hundreds of children will be kidnapped. They will be released after ransom have been paid. The first time we paid ransom for kidnapping, that was the time we started a business for these people, and it has become a business for them. It has become a business for them. There was a time when some idiot from the north was even saying that those bandits were freedom fighters for the north. But it seems as if, as far as it wasn't coming down south, which is what we in the south should have done, or should have not to have been to secure our borders, so that if all the nonsense is curtailed in the north, then let it be with them and let them deal with it. Let them deal with it. But unfortunately, you see, I want to say this, and I want to let it be clear. The middle belt has seemed to be a buffer zone between the onslaught from the north to the south. That buffer zone has now dwindled to such an extent that almost 75% of Plateau has been taken over from the indigenous. And they are moving relentlessly into Benue, and hundreds of thousands of those people have been moved from their ancestral homes, from their homelands, from their farmlands, into IDP camps. We still have IDP camps in the country up to today, with people languishing in those teams. And then for those farmers who are in the mostly non-Muslim, non-Hausa non-Fulani areas where banditry is very, very rampant. They are disturbed from going to the farm. They have to pay tax for going to the farm. They have to pay tax for tilling. So banditry and ransom payment has been enshrined, instituted in the north. It is now moving too much down south. And what happened on that Lagos Benin Expressway is abominable. Sorry. However, I can say for sure that for all the southwest states, there's some presence of the Amotekun. That is supposed to be a regional force. But even their arrangement
has
been so watery.
Yes, I was coming to that, Raji, with you.
Yes.
This incident on Friday happened between Ijebu-Ode and in the southwest, we hear of the Amotekun.
Amotekun.
State police, state security men. They look tough.
Yes.
The word Amotekun alone sounds very tough, you know. But
it seems,
how could this be happening in their own domain? And all the while, the fire burning, everything happened. None of them showed up.
It seems as if Amotekun is more effective only in Ondo State because of the stance of the late last governor, Akeredolu. So Ondo State is very, very secure now with the effect of the Amotekun. Ekiti State is trying, but it's not trying enough. Osun State is not doing much. Ogun State has been very, 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 very lax. That's why, and it is actually in Ogun State that we need these people because of the volume of traffic that goes between Lagos up to Ijebu-Ode up to Benin.
And you know, it's the middle crossing to the southeast,
yes.
South Ogun State.
Yes.
So yes, I think we should put more attention on that Ogun State because a lot of these incidents and very ugly situation happens on that axis. That Ijebu-Ode, Benin, Ore. Yes, that line is always the point in this case.
Yes.
Fiona, the gentleman didn't answer my question, but maybe you might answer the question. They gave me elaborate insight of what they're saying, but I want to know what's the best way for us to really look into curbing this whole thing. I mean, we hear and we understand some of these things. So what do you think, Fiona?
Yes.
If you're called into intervention, dialogue, or security, come on, Fiona, tell us what's your
I absolutely have no idea. I think the crux of it is to actually understand who are these people. I think because trying to deal with a situation where it's almost like dealing with a situation where you're blindfolded. Because I've heard a lot of comments about, there are people from the north, etc. Do we know this for an actual fact? Do we know that everything that happens is? So I think the core is actually understanding who these people are, who funds them, who supports them. I think that is the beginning of the journey. Until we actually know who they are, we're just taking stabs in the dark. We need to understand exactly what the genesis of this situation is. I know about all the rhetoric, I know about all the tribal discourse, I know about all that, but we need to actually be for certain that this is the core. If this is the core, then it needs to be addressed from that point of view. If it is a fact that a group of people in one country are getting hold of another group of people and setting fire to them, then it needs to be addressed like that. If we know for certain that it is them. I think that's the key thing. So the key thing will be to get to the root of where the actual problem is coming from and then deal with that. Now, obviously, there's a lot to be said for diplomacy, talking, conversations, etc., etc. And I think in a situation like this, I think that would be the initial stance to take. Because I want to understand if there are a group of people that feel that way, what is it that they're trying to achieve? What are they trying to do? I think getting to understand who they are and what they actually want will help us to understand how are they best tackled. Are they best tackled with violence? Are they best tackled with peace talks? best tackled with diplomacy. I think we need to really understand what they're trying to do. If they come out and say, we want everybody to be, I don't know, a Jew, for example, or whatever, then we understand that this is what they want, and then we know, okay, this is how it has to be tackled. But I think without understanding the fundamental reason why these things are happening.
Yes. From my view, the fundamental reason is going back to the root, and that the root now is unemployment. Gentlemen, unemployment is a serious issue. When young men that have vigor, strength, and all it takes to make a life for themselves have nothing doing, they wake up in the morning, there's nothing, it will breed evil. Because, I mean, George will attest to that. The Bible says an idle mind becomes
a place for the devil. Sure.
Yeah, that's it. So you're doing nothing. You wake up in the morning, you're doing nothing, no work, no source of income for you. And you know, people, most of these guys will marry at an early age, have children, no income, no source of livelihood, nothing. It snaps on them.
Massive Mark is, you see, one of the major problems we have is weaponization of poverty as a way to stifle the public. And that is one of the areas. Now, if we begin to, bring about what I would call the socio-economic factors in Nigeria, whereby all of a sudden, there are jobs. We're bringing in, companies that can come and feel safe in Nigeria to build factories, and people will begin to get training, and they will actually get employment. You will see a reduction in this. But you see, the 1%ers are the ones that are causing this, because they will take all the inheritance of the whole entire Nigerians, concentrate it upon themselves, and play games with the rest of Nigerians. And that is what is really happening. Number two is, if we have to take our police force or security forces and bring outside training to train them within, I think it will also help. Because what you see now is we believe in the status quo. Whether they are doing good or they're doing bad, they're police officers, whether they need external training, we don't care. And even when they do, there are so much compromising among them that we don't even know whether they're part of the whole entire game that is happening in Nigeria. So these are things that I believe that if we can, if we are serious about fighting crime, believe me, it is actually going to help. And especially the reason why I believe that if we have state police, they understand more, within their domain. Most of the police officers will be from the same state. They will understand, community engagement. It happens here. Let me tell you something. There was a time in Canada where Somalians were, just went into a lot of ganging and killing and all that. What did the police do? They engaged the communities. They engaged them. And within them, they know each other. Before you know it, because of that police engagement and, collaborating with the police force, the crime started dropping. And most of the time when things happen, you will see one from within them who will not call the police and let them, to those people that did what they did. So that's what we need to do if we are serious. We've been playing games in that country. All we do is complain, but nothing, motion with no progress. That's what's happening in our country. Just blind horses run around the mountain.
Gentlemen,
Massive Mark, can I just make a point? Yeah, like I mentioned before, you see, all the states in the southwest now have Amotekun. Lagos State has the neighborhood watch. Lagos State is particularly peaceful. Now, Ogun State is actually the trouble spot, which is the link between Ogun State and the eastern states.
Yes.
What is required to be done is to reorganize the Amotekun faction in Ogun State to be more effective, to take them from, if you choose like three people from each village to make that Amotekun and impose them to those villages, you give them a presence. It is easy for each village to know the aliens or the new entrants into that community and those who are likely to cause trouble in that community. So community policing, as has been suggested by George, is also part of it. But basically, you mentioned that when the state governors receive security votes, they say the idea of a central body dispensing funds to states has made each of these states very, very lazy. And they are all been waiting for droppings from the central government. Therefore, governance at the local state level is just left as a laissez-faire affair. As a matter of fact, with the last elections, the governors have come in now. You'll be surprised to know that they are actually planning the next elections without having run through the course.
The first stage. Can you imagine?
Yes.
All right, guys.
So there's actually no governance.
We are saying this because we are bothered and we are concerned.
Yeah.
These are our people. These are our brothers, sisters, and family people. And I mean, we don't want to sit back and see things like this happen to them. So that's why we're saying this. Viewers, you're tuning to Monday SSM Between the Lines. Fiona, George, Raji, and myself were here. Let's do this small break and come back to talk more. Thank you, guys.
Thanking white guys who joined.
Between the Lines. Yes, George, Fiona, Raja, and myself, we're here giving this Monday update. Start the week with some updates. Get to know what's happening. Keep yourself abreast with informations. It helps. You can't be living without being informed. So, guys, what we're doing is noble. Thank you. So let's move on. This one sounds a little bit good. Air Peace. I hope you guys are following this. There's an airline in Nigeria called Air Peace, and behold, Air Peace has opened up its route to outside Europe, UK, Abuja, Lagos, UK, Gatwick. We saw the other time, and the man says he's ready to also do Abuja-London, New York, Houston, and all the other parts of the West. He's ready to do it if government allows. That's what he said in an interview yesterday. So Air Peace is pulling up, and somehow the turnout looks good. Response is good. People are responding well. I heard Fiona say it's all booked till December this year. So let's talk about Air Peace. Is it not a good thing that an individual is standing up and giving us a good name in the airline business? And he's doing it with all passion. George, did you hear of Air Peace?
Yes, special congratulations to Alan Onyema. He's a fantastic entrepreneur and he's very resilient. And also, I want to mention that what he's done, is a milestone for the country, and it's not without any struggles and fights and all kinds of sabotage, even from London. And this is one area that we really need to tackle. This attitude of UK, just trying to don't want us to see light. It is so sad. This man was talking about even this flight that went to London. They went and put him like 2 miles away from where the main airport is. So they have to shuttle them. These are things, and UK better be careful, because what's happening to France will begin to happen if we are not if we have not been prostituting ourselves towards them. Because this man is making Nigeria look good. Is making look at how much they were charging Nigerians. They can give discount to other countries, other airlines. When it comes to Nigeria, they discriminate against us. Until this man came and reduced the price of flights to England, to UK, to 4 million naira, while they were charging 15 and 16. All of a sudden now, when they said they couldn't do that before, they're bringing their prices down to compete with him. So these are the things we need to understand. Let's not stop shooting ourselves on our foot by this stupidity that we have been engaging in. And also I want to congratulate what's his name again? The Minister of Aviation, Festus Kayamo. I really need to commend him highly for fighting for this and standing firm with APs, because this is the only way we can actually do it. Now, these nations that are discriminating against us, we need to fight back, because even with all the difficulties that he had to go through, even the flight when he came there, they delayed and they delayed and they delayed, trying to frustrate this man. Nigerian government need to stand up and say, if you guys continue this, we will stop you from coming into our country.
George, talking about stumbling block, there's going to be more. Fiona, let's hear you. There's going to be more stumbling block. There's going to be more. Expect more.
Yeah, first of all, I want to say, I think I want to echo everything Sir George said. This is an absolute, we had Eric before, we're going to rest that. We have Air Peace now. 100%, the flight prices have come down. I know this because I'm actually checking day on day. So it's not a rumor, it's not a story, it's actually happening live and direct. So 100% congratulations. The push now should be that we should all be supporting. I sent something to Massive Mac earlier, actually echoing what you said, Sir George, was that Festus Keyamo actually said that if any country or airline introduce obstacles to frustrate Air Peace operations, then Nigeria will also introduce theirs. And
beautiful.
I'm 100% with that. That's exactly what we need to do. Nigeria is too big and too profitable a route for anybody to be running our national carrier down. So I am 100% behind Air Peace. I'm going to Nigeria this month by the grace, and I will be traveling Air Peace for that very reason. The flights haven't opened up for December, but I know all my daughter's friends that are all going home, and they are just waiting for the flights, and they're all going to be traveling Air Peace. So we want to see how far these airlines that have direct routes, how far they will continue with these ridiculous prices that they quote. We can't continue. We're absolutely too good for this to be happening. So, absolutely, congratulations go to Mr. Onyema. He's done an amazing job. I know that there have been some naysayers out there, some Nigerians who were complaining about certain things. I heard some people complaining about, why did the flight attendants wear what they were wearing? And I just said, you know what? If you guys don't like what they're wearing, please continue paying BA flight prices. Please pay Virgin Atlantic. Fine. We're happy. Whatever they're wearing, we're going to go with Air Peace. So my call to everybody is please patronize this carrier. Air Peace, my plea to you is please continue doing your best. I know the plane you're using is really new, so please do your best for us as Nigerians. I know we can be badly behaved, but please do your best for us, and we will stand with you.
Nice.
We need them in Canada. We need them in Canada. Air Peace, please come to Canada.
He said he's ready to
North America.
Yes, I add my thumbs up to Air Peace, to Nigeria, and to all of us. I've had friends who had to go to Ghana to pick a flight to London, because the flight from Ghana is about 3-4 4 million naira less.
Can you imagine?
And when you even wonder about the population of the volume of traffic that is between London and Lagos and London, I would have thought that they would give us preferential treatment. But it's a lot of insults. I'm looking forward to more, and then more importantly, I'm sure that I can get akpu or amala on my flight to London.
Oh yes, the food. I mean, of course.
By the way, my flights now, Londonians, Fiona, prepare a bed for me, because what I'm going to be doing now when I'm traveling, I will have to land in London, there, and then from there take a piece back to Nigeria until they change it. So get the room ready for me.
Yes, that's good.
So that's fine.
So, but anyway, let's really hope that they won't choke him up, but there will be stumbling block. There will be.
Sure. But we're going
he's very resilient. He's very resilient.
Just hope he stands and resists.
We have
there will be retaliatory measures.
Yes, because I mean that like you all said, that's a very profitable route. I mean,
yes,
been enjoying that. You know,
it's the most profitable route in the whole of Africa.
Yeah, do you know there was a time
the London Lagos route.
There were times when BA wanted to stop some other routes and just focus on that Lagos, UK.
Already, they have two flights today. They go Abuja and Lagos, BA already. You know,
big money.
So
yes,
big money for them.
It's enough. It's enough. It's
okay.
enough.
Yeah, so we stand with our guy. We stand with Onyema. Onyema, you're doing great for us. We stand with you. Fiona just said, ticket booked, everything ready. Everybody's ready to use Airpiece come holiday season. And we
don't you have that?
You guys saw the
a little bit
last week.
Do you have a video of the flight? Do you have that? Let the world see it.
If
you don't have it.
I was about to do that, but I couldn't. But I know it went viral. The video of the inaugural flight where you had the minister, vision minister, you had some Nollywood actress, so many big people around, and I think that was Onyema doing the video and talking.
Ifeanyi was there too. Ifeanyi was there.
Senator Ifeanyi and all of that.
Senator Ifeanyi was there.
We stand
as I saw the former NBA president too, Akpata.
Yes. Akpata, Edo State gubernatorial candidate.
Yes.
Akpata was there too. Good one, good one. And you will see that Nigerian spirit, united, happy.
Yes.
And like Fiona was saying, home videos will be played on air. Akpo and Obusi and all those.
And Amala will be steaming.
Nice. And Nigerians don't play with their food. Don't play with Nigerian food. Yeah. Gentlemen, let's go a little international. Then we'll come to something also very serious. Let's do small international news. Okay. You all saw, I think Raju will give us this update here. Tens of thousands of Jews, Israelis, took part in an anti-government protest in Israel yesterday. Protesters came out to Jerusalem and were shouting, held banners and everything. They said they should free, their demands include freeing the Israeli captives held by Hamas in Gaza. And they're also calling for an early election, which means that everybody's tired of Benjamin Netanyahu. So, Raji, you were saying something on the group chat. Tell the viewers what's happening in Jerusalem.
You know, just before the October 7th conscripted the invasion of Israel by Hamas, there were protests already in Israel against Netanyahu and against his treatment of the judiciary. So that October 7th invasion, I won't put it behind him to be part of it, to have needled the Hamas to take that action. And then immediately that action happened, you could see the amount of publicity that was given to that invasion, that for more than 6 hours, there was no Israeli response at all. Only videos of showing beheaded children and doing everything to whip up emotions against the Hamas. Up to the White House, when the White House was pushing the narrative that children were being beheaded. Eventually, there was no confirmation of that. And there was no confirmation of the number of people who were killed or those who were supposedly burnt. So that invasion gave Netanyahu a reason to declare some sort of war and to invade Gaza. And he had to continue with that invasion, and we have to be strident in that invasion so that public opinion against it will be diminished. Anybody who will raise their voice against that Gaza invasion seemed unpatriotic, because the press had prepared the way for it to divert attention from the failures of the Netanyahu's government, to divert attention from the impending demonstration that was on before the. So this new demonstration is just a continuation of what was stopped in October 7th.
Okay, that's your views, George. I know you were listening to Raji with all.
Yes.
Tell us.
Listen. I don't want to, I don't know how to say this to Raji, but these are, conspiracy theories, because a lot of things that
Call it whatever you like.
It is conspiracy theories, because, yes, there were some pictures and there were some videos about some of these things, but it was so gruesome that they don't want to continue showing it because a lot of people condemned, Okay, well, unless it's AI generated this thing, but the point is this. Yes, indeed, I believe that it is time for Benjamin Netanyahu to take seriously the number of people that are being killed in Palestine, the number of people that are being killed in Gaza. He needs to pay attention to the international voices that are happening, to negotiate to release also those that are held captives, because that's one thing. A lot of children are being wiped away. Generations of people are being killed in Gaza. I think enough is enough. They need to negotiate and release these people. Number one, yes, we have numbers of the number of people that were killed. It was it's all over the place, and it is confirmed. The ones that were kidnapped was confirmed, and it is still there. So there is no need to pontificate on conspiracy theory or whatever the case might be. These are factual things. I condemn what is happening in Gaza, but I also condemn October 7th, that the killings of these Jews that were unnecessary. And I call on Benjamin Netanyahu to please stop this nonsense now. Let the children alone so that food can get into this place. They need to stop it. So we got to stay factual, not trying to get information from Mars.
Yes.
The more ominous things happening in Gaza is that the Israeli government is targeting children, and they are even laws. I can send you a video of where the Israeli government, Israeli judiciary has given approval for the hands of children to be broken who were caught throwing stones at Israeli army. So it is what is happening is deliberate genocide.
Raji, you need to be careful with all these news that don't have no foundation. Please don't do that. Please remain factual.
When the news favors Israeli narratives, when the news favors Israeli narratives, it is okay with you.
No, it's not.
Anything that you say that is against Israel, you are branded anti-Semitic.
Buy into this fake news that you are spreading here. It is not good. You need to stop it.
It is fake. It is fake news.
Say what you
It is
can
fake
prove.
news because it is
Yeah.
against. It is
No.
against the Israeli narrative.
No.
You see,
No, it's not against.
I'm not for or against it. I am all for humanity. What is happening in Gaza is a humanitarian crisis, and then all the obstinacy and the stubbornness of Netanyahu should be stopped. How is it that the whole world cannot even talk to him?
The truce between Israel and Hamas, we remember in November, led to the release of some captives, and an exchange was done. But now they demand for more, and also taking note that the number says about 32,000 people have been killed by the war of Israel on Gaza.
Children more.
Yes, children more.
More
and,
children.
Israel says 1,139 people were also killed on October the 7th.
On the outside.
Anyway, we see that protest is a strong one, and we know probably the man needs to rethink of his stand in his decisions, what the decisions is making. Gentlemen, our time is running out, but let's do this. It's vital we do this as Nigerians that are concerned about a rebranded Nigeria. There's a man called Femi Adesina, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina. He's the president of Nigeria, the AFDB, African Development Bank. He's saying something very serious, and these were issues that have been brought up before, but they let it low. He's saying that a name change for Nigeria will rebrand Nigeria. He says, let's rename Nigeria to United States of Nigeria. So this is Femi Dr. Akinwumi.
Excuse me.
So I want us to talk about this.
Yes.
Yes, it's a very good. It somehow looks good, you know. When you're rebranding, one of the steps to rebranding is change the name. You know, when the name is changed. Yes. Okay, Fiona, let's hear you. Fiona, go ahead.
Yeah. So I agree. In theory, absolutely, that's a fantastic idea. In theory, but what is the purpose of changing the name and all other variables remain the same?
Thank
you.
you.
What does that mean? It
Thank
doesn't
you.
mean anything.
The essential details.
If you're having a drink and you change it over and inside is all nonsense, it's still going to be nonsense. So changing the name doesn't mean anything. As far as I'm concerned, the idea is fantastic, but it doesn't mean anything. Without the change coming from the core, it doesn't mean anything. It might give us a feel-good factor for 5 days, 5 months, 5 years, whatever. But at the end of the day, if people still feel the way they feel about each other, that renaming without any other work being done, it doesn't mean anything. Are we going to rename it United States of Nigeria and we still have the same security issues? So what are we celebrating there? There's nothing to. So to me, that's what I
just putting a card before the horse.
Go ahead.
Okay. I am 100% with Fiona on this one too. But you see, the point is this. The point, we need to revisit the 1999 Constitution. You know, this military constitution that we are still living in, we need to revisit to the core, to the foundation, and begin to change things. You know, and then once we are able to do that, if we are copying United States of America, let's go back and make sure that, you know, if it is working for them the way it is working for them, and we want to change our name to United States of Nigeria, we have to go back to the, you know, constitution, empower the states. You know, let it be the same way it was when we have 4 regions in Nigeria. Because, you know, like what you're saying, if you're changing the name and everything else remains the same, what's the use? It's useless. We can call it whatever we want to, you know, if things still remain. But when we begin to go back and change the constitution of Nigeria, change narratives, the way, you know, the federal government deals with states and empower the states, all of a sudden you can call it United States of Nigeria and it will work. So that's I stand with her on that one.
Yes,
Mm.
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree
Right.
with my two colleagues. You see, it's like it's like you have a vehicle, bad engine. You give it a fine spray paint, and then you now start congratulating yourself. Okay, yeah, you have a new car. Meanwhile, the engine is the same. The engine is the same.
Listen,
Uh,
it's true.
it's
It's
Guys,
true.
you see, I
it
was
is.
surprised that he made that suggestion,
Somebody on
and
such
I
a
was
high
surprised
level.
that
Let's
and I
listen
was
to
surprised also
yes.
that he should have known that he will be taken seriously. So that if he's making any suggestion, it should be a suggestion that should be taken
That makes
serious.
sense. Exactly.
But if
Now,
this kind of suggestion coming from you is some of us who are his admirers are observers are a little
Shocked.
worried.
Yeah.
no, it's a very it's a serious statement. Take note that he made this in Obafemi Awolowo's leadership
Agreed.
event where he was awarded the
Yes.
leadership prize
Yes.
for leading. He has done so well. The man has done so well. You need to do
Very
no
well.
additional.
Yeah. He has done very
He
well
has
at
done
the
I don't think
AFD.
anybody is
Yes.
saying he hasn't done
so
well.
now,
Sorry.
no,
Nobody is
listen
saying
to
he
where,
hasn't done well.
listen to where we're coming. Listen to where we're coming. He said something that I'm looking at. He said, it's very audacious that instead of us referring to federal government of Nigeria, we could just use that phrase, United States of Nigeria. Hmm? And
Okay.
this way, a lot of things will now begin to look like you guys are saying. Do you understand? George is talking about states policing, states this, state. So when we put that word out, states, United States, then governance becomes state.
So
Governance becomes
you're
regional.
saying what
So
you're saying is that the nomenclature will now make everything change. Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
no,
yes.
it's
So
a it's a it's a
It's
manifestation.
it's the other way
No,
around.
that's what we call manifestation.
but we're dealing with the real life
He was
situation.
manifesting. He want to manifest a United
But,
States.
you guys don't laugh. I mean, the man making this statement is big time.
Nobody,
It's
no.
heavy.
Yes.
You're taking
Well,
it
That's
wrong.
why that
Nobody is
we
saying
are not
nothing
condemning
bad.
what he
What he said
did.
is good. Nothing is wrong with what he
Yes,
said.
yeah, it's
Just
good.
the fact
It's
that
good.
that's not the
But
solution.
he
Just changing
probably
the
would
name
have
is not the
also
solution.
considered all you're saying now. He would have thought about
exactly.
all this.
Yeah.
But he,
Is it?
It's surprising that he would come out with this statement after considering all
okay,
this.
but now,
That's
guys,
why we're shocked.
listen to this. I did a course. I did a course on branding, image branding.
Yes.
Listen to this. Do you know that of a truth, when you put a new name on something, there is a trigger that comes with that.
Yes.
When you have a
Yes.
name on something, a change of name, yes, it triggers. It's a human psychology also. So
Yes.
this man has studied all of this, and I tell you, I'm standing opposite all of you three now. I think that will work for us to start with.
Sorry.
See,
Yeah.
maybe the time is not right. Maybe the time is not right. Maybe he has planted the seed. Maybe he has planted the seed because he's a serious man. And if he has made that statement, it means he had considered all things,
Sure.
right? But maybe he has considered it in his cocoon. Now it has come out of the cocoon, and therefore there will be various and different perspectives to that thing. He's a serious man,
Yeah,
and whatever he said will be taken seriously.
seriously, guys, we have come to our
Yes.
own end of our cocoon.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you. Thank you guys for coming. George was laughing up to George. You need to study Dr. Akinwumi. Go through his bio.
I am with. I say,
He's a
listen
serious
to me.
man.
Listen, I have already. No,
Mhm.
listen. I don't condemn what he's saying. I am saying, in addition to, this is the way that it can work better, rather than just changing the name and everything remains the same. You know, so I'm not condemning. I am with him in that.
He has planted a seed, and that seed will over time maybe germinate or wilt in the ground.
That I align with. That I support. Yes,
All right,
but
guys.
to just change the name.
Wonderful. Thank you all for coming. Beautiful first day
All
of
right.
the month of April.
Oh gosh, that's
Guys, thank you. George, far away.
By the way, I have a
Yeah.
special news to
Tell
tell
us.
you guys.
okay.
Yeah.
And
You're taking a new wife?
Ha.
no. The federal government has actually, the federal government of Nigeria has actually appointed me as the new ambassador to Canada.
Wow.
Sir George.
Seriously.
It's the first of the month.
Today is April 1st.
It's April 1st.
If you tell us tomorrow, we may believe you more.
Guys, we have to go. Thank you.
All right, man.
All right.
Thank you for coming, Raji.
Yeah, have a good evening, Madam Shona. Mr. George. Massive man.
Yes,
Have a good evening.
God bless you.
Fiona,